Welcome, everybody. Well, we're making some progress. Today is day 21, and we wrap up our third week of the counting of the Omer. Woohoo! It's Malchut of Tiferet, nobility in compassion. So over this past week, we've talked a lot about the quality of compassion that we both give and receive. All of the 7 emotional attributes weave in and out of Tiferet, which has been our topic for the whole week, of beauty and compassion. And today we reach the pinnacle of the last of the emotional attributes, Malchut, which is a state of dignity, which then goes ahead and feeds through Tiferet. So the question, do you feel dignified and noble in your actions with others? Do you treat others with respect as a rule? And generally, do you get it back in return? What is the depth and the breadth of your compassion? Is it colored by truth, beauty of spirit, and your own sense of dignity and divinity? For compassion to be its most rewarding and effective, it should reflect the dignity that is found in the giver while allowing the recipient to actually retain theirs as well. Showing respect for the other at their most needy and vulnerable, and holding yourself to the highest and most noble attribute of Malchut, treating yourself and others with dignity and respect and compassion, is what we want to be striving for at all times. So there's something called the Dignity and Respect Campaign, and it's committed to making the world a better place for all to live in. It starts with us. We must have self-respect in order to be able to show respect for others. It's very important that we have a sense of self, a sense of self-esteem and self-respect. When we have that, then it's going to be easier to see that in others and also give it to others. The campaign outlines 7 pillars of dignity and respect, as we're talking about, which I have adapted for our purposes here as we go through this Sefirot. First of all, I'd like to point out that the number 7, okay, so there's 7 different pillars. The number 7 means goodness, tov in Hebrew. And there were 7 days of creation. So everything that is good and pure in the spiritual world, and even in the physical realm, when you have things in a state of 7, you're going to have goodness. So we're going to create goodness in our lives when we operate with these 7 pillars of dignity and respect. God created us and this world to be good. It is up to us what we do with it and what we do with each other. We have free will. So the 7 pillars are, first, you got to start with you, and then sweat the small stuff, build cultural awareness, find common ground, join the team, lead the way, and do the right thing. So first of all, let's take starting with you. So how are you seen by others, and how do you see yourself? You want to take a look at this, and you want to identify what are your filters and how do they guide you. We all have experiences and backgrounds that are unique to each and every one of us. So identify what makes you, you. It is said that when judgment day comes, you won't be judged for not being a Moses, but you will be judged for not being you. It's important that we figure out who we are, figure out what our gifts are in this world, share it with others, and really be the best us that we can be. Because when we know who we are, we're more able to give to others because we are our best self. So ask how your life's experiences have shaped you, and then the choices that you have made based upon those experiences. When we understand ourselves, we can better understand others. Then we're truly able to give with Malchut, which is an attribute for today, flowing into Tiferet, nobility in our compassion. So number 2, yes, actually, sweat the small stuff. We normally hear don't sweat the small stuff, but for here, you want to sweat the small stuff. You want to become mindful of how you respond to others, what you say, what you do, and be responsible for your words and your actions. It affects how you are perceived, and ultimately it's going to affect how you are received. So think about it as intent versus impact. We may be coming with one kind of intention, but somebody else isn't getting it, and it has a different impact than what we actually desired. Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar said, a wise person, and this is from the Talmud, should always be careful in the way he formulates his responses. Be sensitive to others and aware of your own actions. It's important to hold yourself accountable. People may misinterpret what you say, they may misinterpret your intentions, and if you aren't actually honest with yourself and in your interactions, it's not going to have the desired effect that you want. So then the third one is building a sense of cultural awareness. So treat others the way they want to be treated. Cultural awareness means understanding and accepting differences between everybody. By understanding the differences between people and actually welcoming and embracing them, we break down the barriers. Your compassion will be dignified because you approach all people equally and with respect. Rabbi Akiva taught, love your neighbor as yourself. This is considered one of the most important rules in the Torah. It's in the Jerusalem Talmud. And it's a great example of Malchut in compassion. So the fourth one we have is finding common ground, realizing that we all come with our own baggage, we have different experiences, we all have a different perspective, and if we recognize that, realize it, and accept it, and then work with it, use it to find common ground, to build from, and then to share, and to express your compassion. You will be able to express it, and it will be received. Agree to disagree. Sometimes in crisis or trying times, emotions can bubble up to the surface. And that's when it can be the most challenging to be our most compassionate. So be mindful and respectful at the most sensitive times so everyone can retain their dignity. True compassion will spring from acceptance and respect, honoring where the other person is coming from, and affording them the dignity and the right of their own point of view. Setting aside differences and looking for commonalities will enable successful relations while everybody maintains dignity and respect. And then the fifth one is join the team. Build trust and agreement, limit bias and favoritism, and strive for the best overall outcomes. Compassion is built on trust. Sometimes when we're taking care of loved ones with compassion, it actually takes a village. You might have experienced this. So for example, a team of caregivers may be engaged to cover all of our loved ones' needs. Find everybody's strengths, take the time to encourage and inspire everybody to work at their best. Compassionate giving can both be exhilarating, but at times we can actually find it to be quite exhausting. So be honest about what you can do, what you can't do, and don't try to do it alone. Sometimes compassion actually needs community. It needs to be able to thrive with a lot of people helping out to be most healthy and effective. We need to understand what our limitations are, what we need, so that we can then best give compassionately to others. And then number 6 is lead the way. Be inclusive with every person in every interaction in everything you do every day. Be the one to actually step up if needed. It's everyone's responsibility to take charge and to make an impact. We can see this now more than ever during this pandemic of COVID-19. In any crisis, are those there that you've seen that actually step up? Or maybe those who, they fall back and they look all around saying, who, me? What can I really do? Be the one who steps up. Be the one who makes the difference, who cares, who reaches out with compassion. If everyone did, then the whole world would be much better for it. And that's what our world needs right now. Dignity, respect, and nobility would abound in all of our relationships because we won't actually be passing the buck. We would all be taking compassionate responsibility for each other and for our world. In Judaism, it is said that even one person can change the world. Okay, so if you're a bit skeptical, then adopt this as your credo. One person, as one individual person, I may not be able to change the world, but maybe I can change the world of one person. Change your thoughts, change your behavior, and you will also change your world as well. Be who you are, do what you love, act with compassion, and share your best self with others. Which now leads us to the last, number 7, pillar of dignity and respect. Do the right thing. Don't do the easy thing, do the right thing. We all have the ability to make a difference in the lives of others. Don't underestimate yourself or how much acting out of dignity and respect can impact the world. Compassion is key. It's the absolute most beautiful key to the kingdom, key to saving the world, and we are the vehicle to drive it. We must strive to be dignified in our compassion, how we express it, and be mindful of the respect we afford others when trying to help. Making a difference with Malchut means affording everyone their sovereignty, everyone the ability to maintain a sense of nobility while promoting self-awareness and self-esteem. The EOK Institute wrote, "The true happiness that we can achieve comes from practicing compassion. It's when we help our fellow man, when we feel connected to the world, when we give expecting nothing in return, when we are kind just to be kind, and when we see other people as other selves instead of others, then life takes on meaning and purpose." So yes, change your thoughts, change your life, and then change your world. Putting yourself in another's shoes and seeing your face in others can spark this malchut that we're talking about in compassion. Changing the world one person at a time with positivity and divine intention. And that's actually what this day, day 21, is all about. Malchut of Tiferet, nobility in compassion. It's our highest point of this last day of this third week. So join in tomorrow when we begin week 4, and we are grounded in the emotional attribute of netzach, endurance. Endurance in all we do and how it's affected by the 7 different emotional attributes of the Sefirot. So the Sefirot are going to guide us on our way, open up our vessels, help us to evolve and to ascend and to be our best self. And then we're able to share that and give that to others as we go through the different weeks and the different days to expand our consciousness, our awareness, and truly to be able to give. So hopefully we'll see you tomorrow as we start week 4.